I just want to shed light on the idea of using animal communication to reduce human-wildlife conflicts. I just want to give you a quick example of how I've used it personally with great results, and maybe plant the seed for others to use it too. So when communicating with wildlife, the first thing to really know is that not all of them want to talk to you or expect that you're going to talk to them, especially if they are considered quote-unquote pests or varmin, or whatever people want to call them. But the example I want to use today is a group of voles. They were in my garden, in my lawn, they were they were devastating. They were just tearing up the whole place, and it was in an area that just really couldn't tolerate that. And so after we tried to coax them out through natural methods, my husband was like, well, it's time for them to go. And I was just thinking, okay, no, before we take lethal measures, because I never want to cause harm. I don't want to do that. I just want to all live in peace, but sometimes that's not the realistic version. And so I said, give me 3 days. Let me tune in. Let me just ask them to leave and see if they're willing to, and we can go from there. So I tuned in to this colony of voles, and the individual I connected with was this kind of gruff kind of dude. He's like, what are you doing in my head? And I thought, well, hi. I have a request to make. And he wasn't terribly interested in having a lengthy conversation, but he gave me the space to hear me out. And I asked him, I was like, we don't want you here. We don't want to hurt you, but we need you to move. Is that something you're willing to do? And he was just like, well, we're happy here. What's in it for me? I was like, okay, what is in it for you? So, we have a space that you can go to that's totally safe. You can do whatever you want. You'll be left alone completely. Or lethal measures will be taken, and we don't want to hurt you, but we do need you to relocate. And so really I gave him the option, the whole colony the option, to make the choice whether they were going to relocate or not. And I said, you have 3 moons, so 3 nights, 3 days to make your choice. Vacate, will leave you alone otherwise, and come the 3rd day, we'll see where we're at. And so I kid you not, 3 days later, they moved to the location that I asked them to move to, and no harm was done, and it was perfect. And so it got me thinking, what if we used this on a larger scale? And I'm just thinking about bears here, because humans and bears have a hard time coexisting where I live. There's a lot of problem bears that often get euthanized, often get relocated, and then euthanized. It's just not a good situation. And it's like, what if we could use this on a larger scale? What if we could team up with the biologists and communicate with these bears and the public and the community and just work in a cohesive manner to coexist? I don't know. Those are just my thoughts for today. What do you think?